Are you not able to speak your favorite language?
I hate being forced to use newspeak.
Is it not possible to spend time with your significant other?
I haven't seen my boyfriend in a week. I wish I could hold hands with my love.
Can you not hang out wherever you want?
I know that the Chestnut Cafe is seen as a suspicious place, but I would like to go there with my love. No? You can do all those things? Well, believe me, your freedom of speech may still be in danger.
Your freedom of speech may be threatened in multiple ways.
For instance, censorship is suppressing information and therefore suppressing your freedom of speech. In the media, it is blocking journalists to say what they want. It's almost like my job in the Ministry of Truth. Certain political leaders discredit information that is sent out so that they would look better in the eye of the people. Does this remind you of someone? Oh yeah, Big Brother. Who else could we be talking about?
In your world, technological development is producing more and more intelligent devices that are listening to you at all times, just like the telescreens in my world. I don't know if you've ever thought of it, but maybe this is a way for the government to spy on you, and you're helping them. When you use your cameras, your voice recognition, and your tracking applications, the government, collaborating with major tech corporations, is able to collect information about you.
Another thing to mention is that you could lose your freedom of speech at any time. Look around you. There are plenty of countries that have already lost their freedom of speech. And I bet you they didn't plan on it. So it is possible that the same thing could happen to you too. It is possible that a revolution, just like the one in my lifetime, could take place at some point.
Freedom of speech may not be automatic, but it can be preserved. Here are some tips on how to protect it.
Tip number 1. Keep your democracy. In my totalitarian world, we are constantly being watched by telescreens. If you dare to say your opinion or anything that goes against the party, bad things will happen to you. You are never allowed to say what you truly feel or think because of how invasive our government is. But in your democratic world, freedom of speech is a given right. Everyone has the right to be themselves without fear or punishment.
Tip number 2. You have to make sure to exercise your rights. In your world, freedom of speech is practiced by all. If you let yourself be silent, like us, then people may deem it unnecessary, and trust me, you will regret it. If I were in your position, I would love to go outside and scream, "I hate the party!" And luckily, you could do that. So why not try it?
Tip number 3. Please do not take your rights for granted. Automatically assuming that you have freedom of speech is not a good idea. Be glad that you're not in Oceania living our suppression. In our world, if a hidden microphone, for instance, catches you bashing about the party, you will be sent to a labor camp, tortured and killed. And trust me, you do not want to experience that.
Tip number 4. Make sure to communicate with others and spread your ideologies. With more people comes more power. So make sure to make friends and discuss anything you want with them. Take me, for example. I took the first steps in my relationship with Winston, and it turned out amazingly. He and I are now great allies, even though I don't find everything he says super interesting.
Tip number 5. Electing leaders that represents your ideology is very important. Since choices that the government makes can be so influential, not voting and making sure that the people in power value freedom of speech can be dangerous. The wrong political leaders may use their power to take away that right.
just like they did in Oceania.
Tip number 6. Be mindful of the technology that you own. As we mentioned before, your world is introducing new technologies that happen to be accessible by everyone. Make sure that you do a good background check before buying new technology. Unlike us, you have the choice on whether to buy or not invasive products that listen to you. You can definitely make sure that Siri on your phone isn't actually a telescreen in disguise, listening to your plans on doing unorthodox actions.
In conclusion,
Make sure to follow our tips.
because you do not want to end up like us.
A public service announcement from Winston Smith and Julia, the dark-haired girl.